Juju real or fake?
So I guess to kind of start us off, is Juju real or fake? Um, Personally, I think that I actually think that Juju is real. But there are people, there's like multiple, I guess, schools of thought. People will say that, it's only real if you believe it's real. And so if you don't believe it's real, then I guess it doesn't really exist. But it's like, there's no real way to know if you have that school of thought. Because then if you don't believe in it and it happens to you, what's the explanation for it? So yeah, my own thought process really is, I do think that it's real based on, I guess experiences that have happened. There's so many things that just can't really be explained. And I just feel like Juju has to come from somewhere. So, I mean, feel free to have like contrasting views. Mara, what do you think?
For me, I think it's mindset. Yeah, seriously. Because I'm always saying that. Like, challenges are bound to happen. Seriously. And if you think somebody's seeing you somewhere, then somebody's seeing you.
Okay.
Things happen. There are days that, even in the Bible, there are days that will be bad, there are days that will be good. So if anything happens to me, of course, there are days that I'm not happy. But that doesn't mean somebody's seeing me somewhere. Even in my home, like, Lara, pray, pastor, I'm like, mommy, nothing is wrong with me. Because all this thing boils down to mindset. What are you thinking in your mind?
Right.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
What do you feed your mind with? And I believe in anything you think about comes to you. Do you understand? So the way you nurture your mind really matters. I don't believe in juju. I don't, because I pray. I will cast and bind anything. I pray a lot. So if anything is happening to me, I just believe it's a phase.
Okay.
And it's gonna go.
Right.
So if I start feeding my mind with, oh, somebody is somewhere attacking me, even in church when they start praying about enemies, I barely pray to those things. I rather focus on my own life. Like, okay, what I want in my life, than casting and biting one enemy that I didn't even know about. Do you understand? For me, it is a mindset. I get it. We are all different. We all think differently. But for me, it's your mindset. Me, I don't believe in any juju. Nobody can do it. So that's my take on that.
Okay, I actually have a comment.
Okay.
Or rather, a view about it though. I won't really say it's a default or it's a fault as being Africans, but our foundation has never been clean. I will start from there. We don't have a clean foundation. So the fact that, if you try to look back in time, even the cultures will also give you an insight when they do cultural celebrations, all those things that come out. Those are not just humans just doing it for fun. There is something that has to be done. Sacrifices, if you go deep down to your culture, there are sacrifices that have to be made. Sacrifices are made to who? Not to humans.
Yeah.
To something that being built up to
Yeah.
something. Down, you see how go in the bush. Even in the world, but like when you go to the village, there are certain waters you want to go to, your mom will tell you, don't go there.
Yeah.
Why? There are certain things that are living in the sea. You see this earth, there are things beyond that we can't see. That is why even as Christians, we still need God to open our eyes for us to see things that we can't see. If we're able to handle ourselves, I don't think we need the Holy Spirit to guide us in our daily goings. Or we probably need dreams and revelations. No, God's not going to give us one because why? Our life is perfect. Everything is smooth and joyful. So I feel juju is definitely real. Juju is subordinate of witchcraft. Witchcraft is like superior. So yes, because witchcraft is English version of juju. In America, they use their witchcraft for what? Why we use our juju for what? All those things they say is traditions, don't pay attention to it, but the more you pay attention to where you're coming from and your origin, then you know how to provide solutions to those things. Because even in this era, we still have things that are going on deep down. Okay, you go to the hospital. Somebody that studied medicine for 7 years cannot determine what's going on in your body.
Yeah.
And the body is just decaying. The body is just decaying, nothing, MRI, X-rays, everything has been scanned through. What is your next option? Prayer. So are you trying to tell me that you're just going to get like, see, let me tell you about something that's spiritual warfare. Life is a spiritual warfare. You definitely have to be battling against something. Because why? We're not really pure. That is why God came to complete though until Jesus abiakwa. That is why we just keep on fighting
Go.
completely and completely. You know, if you watch movies, they show you watch American movies too. You see the whole cultism and everything.
Yeah.
That is also juju in Nigerian terms.
Yeah.
Those things are affecting people one way or the other.
Right.
Someone has to pay for something to be right in your life. You have to pay for something to be right in your life. You also have to sacrifice for something to be right in your life. And what are the sacrifices that you need? Fasting, praying, going down on your knees, asking for revelations. Those are the sacrifices that we have to make. Even as teenagers are going to be moms as well. As a mom, you need your eyes to be open for your kids in this generation. Not because of juju, but because of life in general. Those are those things that are saving us. The prayers of our mothers that save us and made us to what we are today. If our parents were idol worshippers, God forbid bad thing, we'll probably not be where we are today. But thank God for knowledge and revelation, all those things are bypassed. It's good to celebrate one's culture and know one's history. When in Igbo land we have what four cultural days, Abizifu, Abiwot, Uncle, and all those kind of things that are going on. When I see them dancing on the masquerade thing and pouring, you go to a chieftaincy, a gathering, and you see elders when they take the gin, put it in the shot, and they take it up to the sky.
Right.
And they do incantations in Igbo language and they pour it on the ground. What are you telling me? That is not an incantation that they are doing. With that, those are the traditions that they want us to keep to pass on to our generation. We'll pass the good ones to our generation. But my fact is that Juju the real. Everybody needs to really be solidified.
Yeah.
The devil is real.
Actually.
The devil is what? Is it Jesus Christ? Oh, because Juju, no. Because anything that you're not praying to God, obviously is the devil. And let me tell you something, he will not come after you if you're not a threat to his ministry.
Right.
Life will be smooth.
Yeah.
You know, but when he says that you're a threat, your life will also become up and down. And that up and down will stretch you mentally. They'll tell you what in America, AHD, and they'll be not AHD and T. My dear, carry your Bible. Yes, carry your Bible. Carry your Bible and find revelation. I'm not trying to say like we shouldn't separate physical and spiritual, but the most spiritual, it's a confusion kind of thing. People think when you're spiritual, it should be done physically. No, you should be smart both ways. The Bible says be as wise as a serpent and a gentle as a dove. Those two should be your guidelines in living. So even as you're spiritual, also know what is going on in your environment. You know what I mean? So it doesn't become so heavy on your heart that they say you need to see a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Because when you go to the hospital and they're trying to give you, humans have deforms. Doctors are not always right. So when they give you diagnosis and it's not what it is and they're giving you medications for the wrong thing, they are doing times two.
Yeah.
And when you tell them that, oh, hey, I'm trying to pray so that God will kill me, they'll be laughing at you. You know why?
Yeah.
Because they think that your life is in their hands. Manachuku biasikwa and heal you of all those things. You know, there are certain things of miracles that we have heard that medicine cannot even solve.
Yeah.
You know, someone is here in the US, someone is back there in Nigeria, and the child is sick for no reason. The child had deformity for no reason. There is nothing, no knowledge can help you. Mana, if you go on your knees and ask God for mercy, He shows you and gives you revelation. Even the doctors will tell you it's a miracle, there's nothing I can do, they discharge you.
Yeah.
Who is the ultimate? God. Even the same God tells you that when you're sick, go to the physicians for help. Man, like the one that carry kawa, you be come to me. But at the same time, don't forget.
I feel like we're all gonna learn about this point.
I think for me on my end, I'm in 2 months about it, to be honest. So you've got like, I think there was a certain point in time before medicine advanced and stuff where you would see certain things, and the only explanation for it was something supernatural, something else out of the natural, you know. I know, for example, there was a time when people would have tooth decays, and they would say that it was because of a demon was terrorizing their mouth for poor speaking, or like something, or something. They would just blame it on the demon the whole time. It's just if they floss more, they make
Yeah.
things straight. And I also think that if you just look at like so in that sense, I think that there are a lot of things that we blame on the supernatural when they really do have natural like causes and so we have a solution, of course. But then again, if you look at like the statistics of how the universe is, there's a chance of any event happening at least once, which means, following that line of thinking, there's a chance of Juju being like in the sense that we all understand it to be like a proper event that's happened at least
Yeah.
once. If it's happened once, it can be
Happen again.
replicated. Exactly. So in that sense, I think it's a real possibility. But I grew up in a Christian household, and my mom's a pastor, my dad's a bishop, so I didn't have any chance to like follow like a different path.
Wow, yeah.
You know, and also I think just my personal experience with my walk with Christ, I do believe that, you know, God is real and the kingdom of heaven is a place to be. Not to get too religious, but overall, I'm still in two minds about it. I think there's some places, there's certain scenarios where you're saying Juju, like just more education, like the Bible says, like who perish because of lack of wisdom and understanding. You know, but in other cases, referencing like TV shows like Supernatural, Vampire Diaries, even Nigerian Nollywood, I think that life replicates art and art replicates life. So and people just didn't come up with these
Yeah,
images
from somewhere, yeah.
you know? Because like creativity is almost like it's like energy you can't create or destroy, it's just transferred.
Yes.
You know, and
Definitely,
transferred
yeah.
from somewhere
From something,
you know,
yeah.
so I think I'm still in two minds though, but I have Christ, so
Yeah.
Oh,
what about you, bro?
personally for me, I don't believe Juju is real, and this, you know, because number one, I do believe that God is real. I'm from a Christian background, of course. God is real, heaven is real, the devil is real, and also hell is real. But I just feel like it depends on your faith in life is what determines, you know, what really happens. Like, take for example, in the Bible, we have the story of Job. You know, Job was actually attacked directly by, you know, the devil. It's not like as if someone just sat there somewhere and called his name 3 times in front of a mirror. You know, so I just feel like it was the devil got the permission from God, of course, to test him. So I see it as sometimes when we go through, most times actually, when we go through difficulties in life, it's just a test. You know, God just testing us to know, okay, how strong are you? How strong is your faith? How well do you love me? How well do you trust me? Because there have been other situations whereby a person has social illness or sickness, and then because of how the person is dependent completely on God, the person completely gets healed. You know, take for example, like my stepdad, he had a heart surgery, and it was almost like it wasn't healing at all. But just one day, you know, he went to the hospital, and then the doctor was like, "What happened? Like they can't see anything again. Everything is clear, you know, entirely." So in that kind of situation, it was like a typical traditional African. You'd be like, "Oh, somebody is back home in the village that doesn't want him to heal and everything." But it just, you know, God putting him through that phase in order for him to be absolutely dependent on him, and also trust on him, and of course miracle happens. I believe so in the miracles as well. But I don't believe in Juju at all.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I feel like the fact that something, whether or not you believe in something, right? Like doesn't, like you can believe in something, but it can still exist. I don't know if you guys are understanding what I'm trying to say. Like Juju could, like I'm saying that like I don't believe in Juju. Like I don't do the rituals or anything, but I do think that it does. Like I don't have to believe it, like believe in the rituals to know that like it exists. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So like it could be a thing that, cause here's the deal, like there's so many things in this world that we actually cannot explain. You know, like we as human beings we create meaning for them, right? Somebody is saying, oh, it's Juju that is doing it. Somebody else saying, oh, it's God that is doing it. Okay, so who is right? Like at the end of the day, like we're giving ourselves some sort of meaning or interpretation of things that actually happened, but there's almost no real way to know who's right or wrong. So it's like, so the person that's saying Juju and the person that's saying Juju, I guess we're both right. Like there's no way to tell, you know? So
I just want to make a quick It's
you
more.
know, coming
The,
to
the, the other nice of the things, right?
You're
Just like
awesome.
he said about the story of Job, that was the devil who got permission from God and everything to do it. Now let's bring it down to our world in 2024. The devil ain't gonna come up with two horns of wagons to come, trouble you. He's definitely gonna use humans the same way God's gonna use humans to help you. I totally understand the fact that you're trying to say that everything that happens in life is just to give God all the glory and make us understand that He's the superior. But I would also want to tell you that just like she said, some things are so supernatural that we humans we try to give them meaning and names and labels. That labels that give us what that give us comfort and give us peace of mind, trying to make us this is what it is when actually it is not what it is. So I feel when life was created how? Through words. How was it created? It was what? Spiritual. Like life was created spiritual.
Yeah.
Everything that was true, like, so are you trying to tell me that you're going to live in a world that is created in the realm of the spirit to give us the same thing, or labeling the world and the universe? God has to give everything a name, and we're not trying to rule it spiritually too, while being, worldly and physically intelligent.
It's actually.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you want to kill something, understand its origin. That's I think that's what I'm gonna write this one up for.
You're looking
We're not trying to say like we believe in
That's-
Juju,
Yeah, I think Juju is real.
but
I don't
it's
think you're Muslim,
definitely.
Yeah, I am Muslim. Yeah, and I guess I should not be believing in things that are not
Oh,
God.
it's calm.
But here's what I think though. Like it goes back to the point that I made earlier. It's just like I don't do the juju rituals, right? I don't have to necessarily like do the act of it to know that there's like it's the same thing. Like I don't see God to know that like
That
He's
is
real.
real.
It's
Yeah.
just the works, the works of His doings, I guess, that I know that He exists. So I don't have to see somebody carrying a ball or doing incantation somewhere to know that okay, there's actually juju. Like no, not really. Like something can exist outside of me seeing it. Like I don't have to see somebody putting calabash in front of me to know that juju is real.
Yeah.
So that's just how I feel. Like I do think that juju is real. Like God exists too, but there's no real way to tell at the end of the day. It's just
Yeah.
you have faith in whatever it is you want to have faith in. That's just what it boils down
We're in
to.
a constant battle of faith. Now let me share just a quick story before we end this thing. Like when I was a kid, right? Like I was just a little kid, and we used to go for like services and stuff like that. Now there was a particular time that this young lady, I don't know if I'm going to remember, she was probably in her 30s when I was a kid. She wasn't married, but she was very pretty, and she had men approaching her. Well, why couldn't she marry her mom? Why did her mom let her marry Juju?
Like her mom was like physically like.
Her mom, those kind of things that you want to pass ancestral kind of duties
Yeah.
to. So there's no way that young lady is going to be married. And you're trying to tell me that she should just stay and, go to, okay, let's leave the modern world now, start looking for solutions outside when solutions can be found within. In every single thing, at the end of the day, who came to her rescue? It was God. And how did He come to her rescue? Spiritual warfare. You can imagine your own mom sitting down on, like on a mortar with your picture and doing as Christians, we speak in tongues, unknown language and incantations. Because we don't understand. Who is helping you speak in tongues? The Holy Spirit is helping you speak in language that cannot be interpreted. So you know what I mean? All those communication with something that is superior above you, that helps you. Now that young lady has been saved from all those. You can imagine when someone is doing you wrong, they are not going to have peace of mind. They are going to have fire burning over them. So they are doing incantations and you're speaking in tongues. There has to be fire.
I'm curious.
So I have a follow-up question. So do you believe that there's good juju and there's bad
I was
juju?
just
Or
gonna ask
all
that.
juju
There's
on
lots
that
of
one?
Let me tell you
Always
something.
like,
Let me tell you
you know?
something, right? So I want to ask you, do you know there's good and bad prayer too?
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's a simple question.
Okay.
There's everything that we're doing, there's good and bad. It
Right.
depends on your own definition of the good and bad that you're doing.
Okay, let
It's
me.
that
This is
simple.
my.
But if it is something that you're doing and you know deep down in your mind it's going to hurt someone and ruin the person, then it's bad. You know what I mean? But if it's juju that you're doing for the cultural representation of your culture and for the jollification you guys rounding the entire town, it's not really juju. It's just showing like
tradition.
Yeah, like tradition kind of thing. You know that what I mean? You need something to hold your hand for you to be able to finish that round.
Okay.
Okay.
So good and bad is your definition. As long as you're not hurting somebody and making them into who they are not. I think that's what I'm gonna.
So if they carry 30 virgins and they kill them, is it good or bad?
Why would you want to kill someone? On a road,
Is it good or bad?
Yeah.
To clear the land.
Killing is wrong. You can't killing something that you did not give life to is completely wrong. I mean,
Okay, so
killing a
that's
human
bad to do.
is
If they are
wrong.
cleansing the land with it, it's still bad to do.
No, that thing that you're saying.
Use like a tool that can be used.
No,
I don't know,
just like you
it's
said,
okay.
just like you said, lack of knowledge. Now, those people that say accepting those kind of traditions also need to be enlightened. But thank God for the generations before us and generation before them that understand some things needs to be abolished and completely stopped.
Right.
While the culture is still maintained and transferred to the next generation. It's all about knowing your origin and transferring the culture. But some things have been abolished and need to be stopped. Shaking
Facts. I mean, yeah, there's so many things to stop. But
Yeah.
anyways, to just wrap this up, I'll just say we all need prayer at this point.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.